Mal, out to Ella. Ella works inside. Ooh, almost an opportunity there. Boylan, far side boards. Back to Mallory. Mallory looking for Ella. Mallory making some space for herself. Works it up the sideboards. There's Chapman to work it back down low again. Ella activates. Here come the Westside Warriors again. Levy's out at the point. Levy tries to jump on that one. Good job, Levy, keeping that thing in. Ella sees an opportunity, tries to work it out, gets out to the point. Chapman works it in. Ooh, Mallory almost had that on the back door. Okay, now we're again. Lots of offensive zone time here. Chapman, long shot. Boylan got a stick on that in front of the net. Boylan down in the corner, tries to dangle around one, works around another. We're in the midst of a line change. Boylan walks, fires off the post. Little bit of iron there. That's all right. It's early in this game. The Westside Warriors try to work that thing out. We've completed a line change now. We've got Nedry, Newcomb, and Witherspoon on the front side. We have yet to have a whistle in this game, if I'm remembering this correctly. Newcomb works it in. Chips it over. Witherspoon battles through a Westside Warrior. Witherspoon on the far side. Westside Warriors try to chip that thing out. Helfrich in the neutral zone. Escapes. Newcomb here right in front of us. Newcomb chips it back over to Sweetser. Sweetser calmly moves that thing forward. Sweetser. Margie Reagan for the Westside Warriors, a familiar player to some of us. Good kid, great family. Helfrich behind her own net. Dangles. Works around one. Nedry. Ooh! That pass gets intercepted as they make the breakout pass. Sweetser retreats behind her own net again. Sweetser tries to get it out of there. Westside Warriors trying to come up with something. There's a shot on goal. At 11:48 of the first period, we have our first whistle. It looks like we're changing up our forwards. We got Craigness, Cohen, and Ballard out there again, along with Chapman and Amy on D. We got Hazel Weary in net. Chapman knocks that aside. Let's not give the Warriors the time of day here. Out to their point. Long shot from the point. That's a tip. That's a goal. Nice play by the Westside Warriors. They move it around. They get it out to the point. There's a tip about halfway home, halfway to the goal. Hazel made one move following the puck. When it got tipped, it got knocked to the other side, and it was kind of a wide open net after that because Hazel was following the puck before it got tipped. I think the Edina Hornets are going to come out pretty angry. That is the fifth goal the opponents have. Ella shoots, fires, that's a goal. It took about 14 seconds to even up the score at 1-1. By my count, that is the fifth goal this team has given up since the beginning of December. It might be fewer than that. It might be fifth goal of the season. I don't recall. Ella Sauter, our goal scorer, needs to put a mouth guard in. Ella. Back to Amy. Amy retreats. Works it over. Chapman collects that one. Chapman tries to get that out of there. Can't quite get it out. There's a penalty coming on Mallory. Little hook. This game's going to be called pretty tight because that was not much of a penalty. Looks like we got a change of the forwards coming. 11:16 left in the first period. The Edina Hornets will be trying to kill off a penalty here for the next two. It is 1-1 in the early stages of this game. Let's see if we can't get a shorty. Levy on D, Witherspoon and Nedry on forward. Levy knocks that aside. Or that was actually Weary that knocked that aside. Sweetser, that's going to be an icing. Little too heavy on the clear. That one goes all the way down, and that is a icing. Again, you got Sweetser, Levy, Witherspoon, Nedry. Mallory in the box. 11:03 left. Witherspoon on the draw. Out to their point. Point walks in. Long shot. That one slips by. It's 2-1. The Hornets need to dial it in here. Right now it's 2-1. The Westside Warriors lead against your Edina Hornets. Back to Levy. Levy fans on that one. Makes a couple of moves, sweets her. Works up the sideboards to Sauter. Sauter gets it deep. Mallory goes to work. Wins the foot race down to the puck. Works it up. Can't quite see. Works it up to Levy. Levy works it back down. Boylan working around. Tries to center that. Mal tries the shorthand side. Mal. That one comes out to the point. Sweetser works it back down low. That gets knocked around. Mal's back to collect that thing. Mal over to Levy. Levy gets the red line. Dumps that one low. There's Sauter cruising in on target. Good back check. Amy comes up with that one. Amy over to Helfrich. Helfrich back over to Amy. Ella at the middle of the ice. Ella gets in on that. We got a tight game being called, at least on the offsides. That was a very tight call there. Ava Ballard even dragged her foot, but apparently she was offsides. Craigness. Ballard. Cohen. Helfrich. And Lou on the backside. Back to Lou. She thinks about it. Works it up to Cohen. The Westside Warriors think they might be in this game, so they actually happen to lead 2-1. So we need to get on our horse, I think, is the Edina Hornets. Little rolly puck. That one gets knocked towards Hazel Weary, and she wisely covers that thing up. 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Clock! The clock continues running. 9 minutes and 40 seconds now have clipped by. Cohen works it up to Craigness. Craigness. She's got one helping. Craigness got tied up a little bit there. She's working down low. Craigness is all over that one. That one's right there in the slot. Craigness tries to load up to shoot. Gets over to Cohen. Cohen's looking for an outlet. Craigness down low. Craigness is dancing. There's a lot of traffic down there. She's got her friend Cohen helping her out. Craigness and Cohen working in the corner. They get zipped around. Luckily, Ballard activates. Ballard tries to come up with that one. That one flings out of the zone. It's up in the air. We're going to have another line change coming. Nedry, Newcomb, Witherspoon, Levy, and Chapman on the backside. This time the clock stopped, and it reads 8:58 remaining in the first period. Witherspoon fights that one through. Nedry comes over, grabs it. Long cross-ice path. They can't quite handle it. Chapman's there to create some trouble for them. Chapman retreats into her own zone. Newcomb's there along the near side boards. West side finds their point. That far side point is where they've been trying to load up. In the center of the ice. They've done that 3 times now. So it might need to become a little bit smart on that one. Nedry battling far side boards. Trying to get that puck out. That came out. He waves it off, but it was in fact out. Over to Newcomb. Newcomb fires. Oh, goalie makes a nice save. Here come the Westside Warriors coming back. They worked that thing in. Probably should have been a whistle. No whistle. It hit our goalie who was leaning out. They call that clean. That one appears to be out according to the officials. That's good. Here we are. Boylan kicks it up like a soccer player. In traffic there. Boylan and a couple of others trying to fight it through. Mallory's there. Boylan comes out of that pile. Comes into the zone. Fires. They got a stick on that. Good job, Mal. Mal works it back down to Boylan. Boylan's working around. Boylan tries to load up Ella on the far side. No luck. Here come the Westside Warriors back down into our zone. 7 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Helfrich thinks better of it. Works it around to Mallory. Mallory along the near side boards. That gets tossed at our goal. Helfrich up to Boylan. Now Boylan's clear. Boylan up to Ella. Ella in stride. Almost had it there. Here comes Mallory creating some trouble for them. They try to work it out. Luckily, Helfrich is there. Keeps it in. Mallory down in the corner. Mallory, just losing the handle on that one. Here come the Westside Warriors again. Coming back down the ice. Not let him get a shot. Hazel Weary knocks that aside. Amy's fighting down there. Or, excuse me, that's Ella fighting down there. That one zips out of the zone. Our forwards go for a quick change. We got Ballard, Cohen, and Craigness jumping on the ice. 6 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. Cohen up the near side boards, far side boards, I mean. Chapman grabs that one, tries to clear. Chapman right off the high glass. We're okay. That's a whistle. 6 minutes and 10 seconds left. That's going to be a face-off out of our zone. The official is saying no, it's going to be in the zone. Okay. Six minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first period. The Regina Hornets are trailing 2-1. Here goes Craigness. Craigness has got Ballard in tow. Craigness chips it to herself off the boards. Craigness down low in the corner. Craigness looking for an opportunity. Tries to hook somebody up in the slot. Here's Ballard working out to the top of the slot. Ballard fires just over the net. There's Craigness, tries to bank it off the goalie. No good. This official keeps getting in my way, so I'm having a hard time commentating. Craigness over to Cohen behind the net. Cohen behind the net. She's got two Warriors on her. Gets worked up the sideboards. They're chipping it out. So one-on-one, Amy in a foot race. Amy comes up with that puck, works behind her net. Good decision, working back over to Levy. Levy, far side boards, up to Cohen. Cohen chips it up to Craigness. Craigness chips it along to Ballard. Come on, Ballard. Oh, so close there. Nedry and Witherspoon are now out. Ballard goes for a change too, so Newcomb's going to jump on. Here comes the Westside Warriors again. 5 minutes remaining in the first period. Oh, that's a check, and they're not going to call it. Big check on Witherspoon. Possible interference call. No call. Here comes Nedry. Nedry with Newcomb in tow. Nedry works around. High skill move. Gets taken down in front of the net. Nedry works out to the far side. That gets worked back down again. Now we're along the near side boards. It's probably hard to be able to see. We got a battle along the near side boards. Newcomb works that back down to Witherspoon. Witherspoon's battling. Now Newcomb comes up with that. Sees an opportunity. Tries to hook up Nedry. She major hooking. Is it going to be called a hook? Yes, it is. All right, we got a 2-minute penalty, 4 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Helfrich and Lou on the backside. Witherspoon, Sauter, and Mallory on the front side. Excuse me, Craigness, Mallory, and Sauter on the front side. 1 minute and 55 seconds remaining in this penalty. Westside Warriors try to work that thing out. Craigness down in the corner, working around. Craigness comes up with that puck. Patiently works it over to Ella. Ella jumps off the boards. Craigness escapes. Thinks about it. Tries to fire. No luck there. We're battling in our near side corner. Ella comes up with that one. Or excuse me, Craigness comes up with that. Works it back down to Ella. Out to Helfrich at the point. Helfrich works it across to the point. Lou works in. Just missed. Here come the Westside Warriors trying to come up that puck. Ella's there to gather. That gets out of the zone. Helfrich sees an opportunity. They go for a change. Amazingly, that gets knocked aside. That gets out of our zone. That looks like it's going to be an icing with 55 seconds remaining in the penalty. 3:09 remaining on the clock. Don't know what exactly Coach Youngles is saying, but she was motioning towards our forwards. We now have Sweetser and Levy on the backside. Cohen, Witherspoon, and Boylan on the front side. Witherspoon on the draw. Out to Levy. Levy back down to Cohen. Cohen dangling. Out to Levy again. Levy over to Sweetser. Sweetser fires. Goalie gloves that. 44 seconds remaining in the power play. Same set of forwards. 44 seconds remaining in this power play. Iridiana Hornets are down 2-1. Witherspoon wins that one back. Over to Levy. Levy grabs the handle. Gets a hold of it down to Cohen. Cohen fights for it. Here come the Warriors out of the zone. That's an icing. 31 seconds remaining in the penalty. Witherspoon, Cohen, Boylan, Levy, and Sweetser on the backside. Oh, that's another icing. 24 seconds remaining. Witherspoon on the draw. This one, Cohen comes up with. Cohen, back up to Levy. Levy's got a little bit of space. She works it over to Cohen. Cohen's got a little bit of space, but they're chasing her. Cohen over to Sweetser. Sweetser in front. Fires. Oh, that one just missed. Witherspoon comes up with that one. Witherspoon over to Sweetser. Sweetser works it back over to Levy. Levy walks in. Fires. There's going to be a rebound? No. No rebound. The penalty is now expired. It looks like we're going with a fresh set of forwards. Craigness, Nedry, Newcomb. That wins back to Nedry. Over to Sweetser. Sweetser, long shot, misses. Actually knocked aside by the goalie. Craigness, behind the net. Little action there. Craigness tries to work it up to the point. Sweetser thinks about it. Fires. I think that got tipped halfway home. I can imagine the other side complaining possibly about a high stick. But that makes it 2-2 with 1 minute and 54 seconds left. I might be wrong about that, but I think I'm probably right. 2-2 at the end of one with 1 minute and 54 seconds left. Craigness gets reminded to put in her mouth guard. If it wasn't already clear, folks, D6 is pretty tight about mouth guard compliance. And a few of our players think less of that rule. Here we go. Chapman over to Lou. Lou works that up. Nedry trying to fight for it in. Westside Warriors get that back down into our zone. Chapman tries to work that out. Westside Warriors got an opportunity right here in front. Loading up. Number 27, Marjorie Regan. We clear, though. Back to the Westside Warriors. They work it in. Could have been an icing, but Chapman gathers. Chapman over to Craigness. Craigness tries to load up Nedry. That gets intercepted. Westside Warriors are back into our zone. Dangle around a couple. Work it back in. That one gets knocked aside. Hazel knocks that aside too. They try to load up the front. Craigness intercepts. Craigness in our defensive zone. Now Chapman trying to get this thing out. Works it up to Newcomb. Newcomb tries to get out. Westside Warriors keep us in. Nedry, far side. Tries to chip that out. They keep that in again. Amy Lou retreating into our zone. Hard off the back wall. Newcomb. Lou zings it around. That's going to be free. Hits a little bit of snow. Nedry tries to work in. They come up with that thing. Sauter's out there now. We got about 20 seconds remaining in this period. Westside Warriors got an opportunity. Nope. Amy's burning clock here with about 5 seconds remaining, 3 seconds remaining. Don't let him get a shot on that. All right, that's just fine. We got a 2-2 game after one period. I wish I could say that the Edina Hornets had worked them over, but I feel like that would be inaccurate. My mother's now on camera. That's all right.
I'll get out of here.
You want to say hi to Dad? I think he might be watching.
Hi, Dad.
All right.
You're working crowd
Yeah. So to be clear, my parents have been married for over 50 years, if I remember correctly. And Grandma Kate did not extend as many warm wishes to Grandpa Art as I thought she might. We got about 25 seconds remaining at this period intermission. The ice, I think, is a little soft in my view. There's been a couple of times where I thought the puck was going to be able to glide a little bit further and it caught up. Maybe it's the warm temperatures outside. Maybe it's the efficiency of the businessman behind the Minnesota-made facility. Keeping the ice a little bit warmer and saving some dollars on refrigeration costs. The officials seemed to be in a hurry before, and they are less so now. We got a second period start, 15 minutes on the clock. I hear Rass expressing some interest in getting his team going. So here we go. Adam Nedry walks into the rink. That one gets chipped off and worked down low. Boylan's there to try to create some trouble. Looks like the Westside Warriors are coming out of the zone again. Amy works that down low. Oh, now couldn't quite get that one. Ella's there to create some trouble again. Boylan along the near side boards, tries to chip it out. Westside Warriors come up with that. Long shot. Hazel knocks that aside. Amy works up the boards again to Boylan. Boylan. A little battle on the near side boards. Amy comes up with that one. Retreats behind her net. Tries to work it out. That doesn't quite work. Helfrich to Boylan. Boylan to Sauter. Sauter tries to chip it by. Unfortunately, they just barely got skates on that. Boylan over to Sauter again. Sauter works it in down low. They lose it in their skates. Out to Helfrich at the red. Boylan gets it. Boylan works it down low. Goes for a change. Sauter. Boylan go for a change. Now we completed a change. So you've got Ballard, Craigness, and Cohen out there. Craigness behind the net there. Tries to load up. Cohen. That's a nice save by their goalie. It's 2-2 with 13:35 left in the second period. Craigness on the draw. Works it back to Cohen. Cohen wins that one. Out to Levy. Levy works it down low. Craigness looking for an option. Tries to get it to the front of the net. Unfortunately, somebody was there. Creating some traffic for Cohen. Off the skates of Marjorie Regan here out at center ice. Cohen's fighting to keep that one in. Craigness advances past their defender. She's back behind the net. Setting up shop. Back over to Cohen. Cohen down to Craigness. Craigness to Cohen. It's right there in front. Cohen, Craigness. There's an opportunity. Craigness just barely lost that one. Kind of in her skates and trying to kick it up to her stick. Just not quite there. Great job. 2-2. 12:57 left in the second period here. Witherspoon, Nedry, Newcomb, backed up by Levy, Chapman. It's very hard to see. Levy chips that one down back low. Newcomb gives chase. Westside Warriors come up with it. Warriors trying to exit the zone. Far side pass. There it is across the far side. Chapman comes up with that. Bounces off the board to Newcomb. Newcomb chips it past. She's making her way in. Newcomb over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon fires. Goalie makes a save. Oh, Levy loses an edge out at the point. Sweetser's there to keep it down low. Let's go. Levy heads to the bench for a change. Now Nedry and Newcomb, Witherspoon are trying to go to work here. Witherspoon tried to walk it and snip it short side. Goalie knocked that aside. Here come the Westside Warriors. I don't think we should have let them get a shot this period. There we go. They got one. Up to Nedry. Nedry chips it up to Witherspoon. Witherspoon dangles around one. Fires it at the goal. That's not going to be an icing. If it hits the goal, it's not an icing. The Hornets execute on a change. The Hornets do two. Boylan down in the corner, working around. Gets it up to Sweetser at the point. Sweetser at the point. Fires. That one chips in. Let's go. 3-2. Nice passing. Nice play. Not sure if it bounced or if it got tipped. Laura Helfrich says it was definitely a tip of some sort. We also have a puppy in the house tonight. I'm trying to say that quietly so that we don't get accosted by anyone. Ella at the center line grabs a hold of that one, enters the zone. We probably had an offsides there, but they didn't quite call it. Ella out to Helfrich. Helfrich fires. Boylan's on the rebound. Boylan takes a look around before she gets to the pucks. Works it down to Mallory. Mallory trying to keep a hold of it. They get a hold of it instead. There's Helfrich keeping it low. Ella and Amy there. Let's get a forecheck going, guys. Way to go, Ella. Ella comes up with that one. Trying to, again. Ooh, they're battling for it down there. Boylan's there to help out. Boylan chips at it. That one unfortunately bounces right to the Westside Warriors. They try to get that out. Sweetser's there at the point to try to keep that thing in. Ooh, they just barely get it out. Ella's back to help. Ella making her way across the rink. Nifty skating there. Dangles around a couple. Hits the speed button. Enters the zone. Fires at the goal. Oh, the goalie knocks that aside. Here come your Warriors trying to get it out. Helfrich wisely sticks it in the official skates. There's Ballard along the far side. Sweetser chips it forward. Boylan chips it up to Craigness. Craigness in all alone. Just got one defending. Ooh, she went to the backhand, unfortunately. Just barely lost the handle as the defender was trying to pull her down. Cohen in the corner now. Cohen out to Chapman. Chapman over to Sweetser. Sweetser, our goal scorer. Another chip. Another tip. That's another goal. Think we're going to give each of the goals tonight to Sweetser? What I like to see here, honestly, is a lot of puck movement. We're taking our shots when they present themselves, but we're also working it down low. And then when it makes sense, we're looking up and looking to the point, because people get focused on our offense so much that you work it up to our D get those shots, and then there's a nice opportunity for rebounds or tips as they have an opportunity to get it to the net. Cohen works it back down low. Cohen tries to get the return pass from Craigness. Craigness dangling around about 10 people. She's in the slot, fires. That's another goal. That one came in off the crossbar and post. That should make it 5-2 in favor of your Edina Hornets. 9:36 remaining in the second period. The Westside Warriors seem to be standing around watching, thinking, wait a minute, we thought we were in this game. If I were on their coaching staff, I'd probably say, guys, keep moving. That's going to be an icing. Just barely missed on that pass. I think that was a pass up to Olive Witherspoon, but it was kind of in her skates. She tried to kick it forward to herself and just missed on the kick up to from skate to stick. Witherspoon on the draw in our defensive zone in front of Hazel Weary. She's got Nedry and that was right in the slot. Chapman back together. Chapman works it around. Nedry near side boards. Got to fight that out. Big battle. Hard to even see what's happening. Nuka comes up with that. Sees Witherspoon on a break. Come on, Witherspoon. Move those feet, kid. Oh, great job battling for the puck. They came back and got it out to Lou again. There's our point. Open. Gets knocked aside this time. Nedry in a battle in the corner. Witherspoon trying to battle again. Witherspoon comes up with that one. Works out. Sees Lou hanging out of the point. Instead, flings it towards the net. Ooh, I thought that was going in. Goalie just barely got a piece of that. Witherspoon down in the corner again after a nice feed from Nedry. Witherspoon dangling out. Works it out to Lou. Lou fires. That one just barely misses. Out to our point again. Levy works it back down low. Bouncy puck. That one gets to Boylan. Boylan's got a 5-on-1. She's waiting for time. Mallory comes out. Mallory comes in and fires. Boylan tries to work that in on the back door. Nice set of passes there again. Boylan kind of ate some clock. Mallory jumped off the bench and came right into the slot. Norisar loaded her up. Almost a goal there. Sauter on the draw. Sweetser and Levy on the backside. Oh, the official just removed somebody. Maybe for lack of mouth guard. That is supposed to be a 10-minute call. And D6 officials, if you're listening, looks like the Westside Warriors just got away with one. Out to Ella. Ella working around. Tries to load up Mal. Doesn't quite get it. Boylan over to Levy. Levy works it back down low. Thinks better of shooting through about 5 people. It's a smart move. That gets back out to Sweetser. Our multiple either goal scorer or assist tonight. That one's behind the net again. Boylan activates, comes up with that one fast. Tries to go against traffic. Okay. Levy out at the point. Levy thinks about it, works it back over to Boylan. Boylan works it down to Sauter. Sauter comes into a little traffic. Boylan tries to work it out to Levy. Oh, they just barely come up with that. Here come your Edina Hornets back into the zone. Out to Mallory. She flies it. Looks like Mallory and Boylan are going for a change. Ooh, the Westside Warriors just barely got an opportunity there. They're working along our near side boards. Trying to get in. That pass doesn't quite connect, but some of the Westside Warriors are there to help. Cohen comes up with it. Sauter goes for a change. It's like a practice here. It's a goal. 6-2. That was the type of broken play that sets up for a breakaway. I think Cohen took a few strides left, a few strides right, built some speed through some crossovers. There was plenty of time there, and then came back and beat the goalie on a signature backhand move. Craigness on the draw. 6-2 here with 7 minutes and just 7 minutes left. I actually think that was onside, official. 6 minutes and 57 seconds left. Craigness on the draw. Just a little offside call. Back to Helfrich. Helfrich fans on it a little. Lou works it forward just barely. That gets out of the zone. Cohen and Craigness trying to battle it into our zone. Craigness comes up with that one. Wheels. Works it over to Ballard. Ballard tries to work it across. Craigness picks that one up. Craigness works around one. Now around another. Thinks about it. Ooh! She almost loaded up Ballard, but Ballard got tied up by a defenseman right in front of the net. It was the right play. Here we are in our Helfrich looks like she's picking up speed. Watch out, folks. Hopefully the X-Bot can keep up. She goes. The X-Bot is the camera. Helfrich, near side. Ooh! Almost in. When Helfrich gets going, she's a very fast player. And that time she sends to lane. Amy Lou keeps that one in. The Westside Warriors come up with that one. It's a 2-on-1 with Helfrich playing D. It's on their backside. Hits a couple of skates. Here goes the Westside Warriors trying to load up. Cohen, near side. She's working out. Gets to the blue, chips that thing in. Nedry, Witherspoon, and Newcomb are jumping out. Witherspoon right in front of us here. Newcomb comes up with that one, intercepts that pass. She's at the red line. 5 minutes and 25 seconds left. Westside Warriors try to work it in. Levy to Lou. Here comes Witherspoon battling past her. Another hook. She works up to Nedry. Nedry, nice. Newcomb. That was tape to tape. Witherspoon working down below. Thought about the Michigan, decided against it. It's out to Levy at the point. That one gets shot towards the goal. Goalie gloves it up. 5 minutes even remaining in the second period. So far in this period, we're up 4-0. Here's hoping that the Edina Hornets continue rolling at this pace. That would mean another period would result in a 10-2 victory. Witherspoon, back to Newcomb. Newcomb into the slot, fires, hits some traffic. Good job blocking a shot with your back. Newcomb and Witherspoon decide who's going to go for it. Witherspoon makes the big effort, works it over to Newcomb. Oh, they just barely get a stick on it. Here comes the Westside Warriors out of the zone. Trying to load up. Long shot. Hazel jumps on that. Puts a glove on it too. We got about 4:32 left in the second period. Your Edina Hornets are now leading 6-2. We've traded out our offense. Now we've got Boylan, Sauter, Mallory out there. Levy. Ooh. They get a shot on net there. Chapman works that over to Levy. Levy in the near side corner. Works up to Boylan on the near side boards. She works that forward. Oh, nobody home. Back to Levy. I think even the official was confused about whether or not that was actually offsides. Well, right now it's in front of the camera, so you've got a great look at this game. Same forwards, Helfrich and Sweetser on D. Sweetser over to Helfrich. Helfrich tries to bounce off the boards to Boylan. Good job. Boylan. No call on a check. Even the other team, I think, was looking at it thinking that was probably a check. Up to Boylan, near side boards again. There you go, Boylan. Make him pay. Over to Mallory. Mallory back over to Boylan. Boylan back over to Mallory. Thought about it. Thought about the shot, but the goalie was right in front waiting for that one. Sauter comes up with that one. Sauter down to Boylan in the corner. Boylan in the corner. Works back up to Helfrich. Helfrich back down to Boylan in the corner. Boylan tries to load up the slot. No dice. No ice happening. Helfrich. Boylan chips it into the zone. Helfrich and, Ballard and Cragness are now down there. Going to work. 3 minutes left in this period. Fan on that one. Ballard chases that one out of the zone. Works back down low. That one's kept in by Ballard. Ballard works it down to Cohen. Cohen dangles around one. Works outside in front. Works around. Thinks better of the shot. Cohen's working around. Works it down to Cragness. Cragness tries to load up Cohen, making her way across the center. Cohen flings it towards the net. That one misses wide. Trying to load up somebody in the slot. Here comes the Westside Warriors on a 2-1. Long shot. Hazel grabs onto that one. Good job. 2:25 left here in the second period. 6-2. Witherspoon on the draw. Long shot. Cast aside here. Fight along the near side boards. Big fight. 3 of them. 4 of them? 3 of them. Nedry. Again, 3 of the Westside Warriors trying to keep that thing in. Witherspoon tries to come up with that, fighting through a bunch of checks. Witherspoon's drawn a lot of penalties lately. Ooh, Westside Warriors with a nice opportunity. That gets knocked aside. Good D. Hazel Weir's all on top of that. 2 minutes and 51 seconds remaining. We're switching on our D. Sweetser and Levy jump out. Witherspoon on the draw. Levy behind the net. Over to Nedry. Nedry looks to load that thing up. Works it up to Newcomb. Newcomb back over to Nedry. Nedry in. Beats the goalie on the glove shot. That is 7-2. Edina leads. With 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining in the second period, we've got a 7-2 game going. Westside Warriors win it back. Chip it forward. That one should be an ice, but they're going to wave it off. Oh, no ice. Yep. Battle down low. Here we try to work it out to the point, past the point. Nope. Levy jumps on that one. Levy's got a little bit of room. She's got the defender turned around the wrong direction. She works around the outside. Looks for an outlet. Works it back out to Sweetser. Sweetser keeps that one in with her hand. Should not be a hand pass. We complete the rest of our offensive change. 1:19 remaining in the second period. 7-2. Boylan in the corner, fighting that out. Mallory's there to help. Westside Warriors come up with that one. Helfrich back. Helfrich over to Sweetser. Sweetser up to Boylan. Boylan chips forward to Mallory. Mallory. Now it's out to Mallory or... Ooh, it's off. Mallory's back there. Weird Karam. From the Westside Warriors again. Helfrich. 45 seconds remaining. Big ring. Up the boards. That's going to be an icing. 38 seconds remaining in this second period. 7-2, your Edina Hornets lead. Sauter on the draw. Sauter behind the net here. Works it over to Helfrich. Helfrich launched it off the ceiling. To be fair, the glass isn't that tall at this rink. If we were at the X or any other NHL quality facility, that would have bounced off the glass. All right. Same set of forwards, 25 seconds remaining on the clock in the second period. There'll be a resurface shortly. Works up to Boylan on near side boards. Boylan works it out to Sauter. Oh, man. Didn't quite get out. 5 seconds remaining. Helfrich is just eating the clock. And that's it for our second period. Okay, so we're back. We got about 15 minutes left on the clock because it's the start of the period. The official looks like they're closing the door here from the entrance and exit. The Westside Warriors look like they're ready for a third period matchup, and the whistle has now been blown. So, a special shout out to Jay Chapman tonight, who is a longtime coach, first time clock manager. So far, he's only made a single mistake, that is, letting the clock run during a whistle during the first period. Jay is a loyal volunteer for Edina Hockey, but has studiously avoided for nearly 50 years any knowledge of how to run the clock. And so tonight is a watershed moment where Jay Chapman has learned additional skills, that is, running the clock. We're all very proud of you, Jay. All right. Looks like we're going to start out with the Craigness, Cohen, Ballard line. Cohen and Ballard are debating about who's playing which wing. There we go. Helfrich and Lou on the backside. There's a lot of good cheer amongst the parents tonight on a Monday here in November. Or January, November. Craigness has got the puck. Flips that thing out of our zone. We're trying to keep it going. Hey, the Warriors are back, and they're playing with a little bit more energy than they were before. Warriors flipping in on goal. Cast aside. Helfrich picks that out of the near side corner. That gets worked over to Cohen way down low. Ice looks a little sticky. That puck's not moving for her. We got men's league players making their way in front of the camera. Cohen, far side boards, tries to chip that out. Doesn't quite come loose. Lou works it over to the far side. Looks like we've executed on, no, not on change. Ballard's there. Lou, Cohen sees Ballard streaking. Let's go. Oh! That is not icing, but it's also not a breakaway. We're all hoping for a breakaway. Ballard's down there in the corner battling. Boylan comes in to create trouble. Ballard loses her stick, grabs it again. Sauter's there. Boylan's creating some trouble with her body. Gets that one knocked off her stick. Dances around. Works it down to, she's battling in the corner. Now Mallory's in the action. Mallory works over. Mallory pulls it off the sideboards. Fires. No goal. That one gets chipped. Goalie almost comes up with that. Boylan gets dumped right in front of the official. The official looks the other way. Boylan's looking at the official saying, "Can I get a call, please?" Chapman, Levy on the backside, Sauter, Boylan, and Mallory on the front side. Sauter on the draw. She wins it back to Levy. Levy looks at it, chips it down low. Mallory behind the net, out to Sauter. She fans on the set play. That one gets worked around. That's still in front of the net. Here it is, Chapman. Tries to keep that one in. Chapman gets a stick on that. Chapman again. I just keep calling Chapman. Sauter up to Boylan. Boylan chips it to herself. Boylan's got a little help with it. Mallory, Boylan. Boylan in the corner works it out to Witherspoon. Officials in my way again. Chapman again on the call. That one springs out of the zone. Mallory looks for an opportunity to work that over. You can tell how sticky the ice is. People are struggling to hold on to the puck. Levy tries to load it up. That one ends up as an icing. We'll have a defensive zone face-off here with 12:43 left in the third period. Your Edina Hornets lead 7-2. They've had 6 unanswered goals over the course of the last couple of periods. Reichelhoff has now entered the building. One of the men's league hockey players. Looks like a goalie. Nedry along the far side. Westside Warriors come up with that. Chip it down low again. Helfrich goes back to collect that. Helfrich up to Nedry. Nedry dangles around one. Comes up with that one. Tries to get it over. That one gets high. Great job by Witherspoon using her glove. Knocked that down, then chipped it out. Westside Warriors are coming back, though. They get stuck by the sticky puck. D to D pass. Witherspoon. Here we go again, Claire. Claire Sweetzer's having a game. A couple of assists or goals. Hard to know what happened. Nedry working around, looking for an opportunity. Doesn't quite come up with that one. There goes the Westside Warriors trying to chip that out. Fan on that, but they come up with it around the red line. Here come the Warriors in again. Sweetser chips that out. 11:35 left in the third period. That one gets worked down low. Sweetser back to collect. Little traffic for her. Westside Warriors now retreating out of the zone. That looks like an icing. We'll have a full change now. Craigness, Cohen, and Ballard out there. On the D, you got Amy and Chapman. Jay Chapman's done a great job stopping the clock here in this third period. And he started on that one too. So excellent job by Jay Chapman. Back behind the net, Amy Lou. Couple of Warriors trying to get the puck from her. Craigness comes up out of that pile. Craigness loads up Cohen. Cohen gets the red line. Dangles around a few. Enters the zone. Tries to chip it towards the net. Cohen just misses on that one. Craigness and Cohen in the corner. Out to Chapman at the point. Nope. Stays down low again. We're battling on the near side boards. It's hard to see what's happening. There goes Ballard dangling around a couple. Ooh, she loads it up to the center. Sticky puck. Amy does a good job. After that one got stuck, she still had an opportunity to bring it back down low. That one gets worked out. Long shot from the point. Cohen tried to chip that. It gets knocked out of the zone. Cohen gathers, escapes, chips it off the boards, trying to get it up to Craigness. That looks like an offside call here right in front of our camera. 10 minutes and 23 seconds left in the third period. Ooh, they're calling that an intentional offsides. So we'll have a center ice face-off. 10:23 remaining. We got to switch to the forwards. Amy, up to Mal. Mal, over to Sauter. Sauter tries to hook up Boylan. Doesn't quite make the connection there. They get a stick on that. Mal's back to create some work. Here come the Westside Warriors. Dangling in. Boylan comes up with that one. Boylan fights off a little hook there. It's still hooking. Should have been a call. That one just barely misses. Now the Westside Warriors got an opportunity to come back here. Try to load up that front of the net. Levy up to Boylan. Boylan. It's got Mal. Far side. It's a 2-on-1. It's an offsides. .9:57 left in that third period. Witherspoon, Nedry, and Newcomb are your forwards. Sweetser and Levy. Levy gets to the red line, works it down low. Hornets try to go to work. Levy tries to keep that in. It pops out. She chips it in. That's an offsides. Textbook offsides. Looks to me like Telejungles might be trying to explain what offsides is to the three forwards who just got off the ice. Newcomb wins it back. Or Witherspoon wins it over to Newcomb. Newcomb works it back. Levy here. Levy's got a lot of traffic going on. That gets worked out. Newcomb goes for it. There's Nedry. Nedry works it over. Sweetser gets that red line, works it down low. Newcomb zooming into the zone. Newcomb tries to work it back over. Nobody there, though. Helfrich has now jumped out for Levy. Nedry picks off that pass, works it over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon chips it towards the goal. No dice. Newcomb behind our net. Tries to work out of that thing. Nedry's there to pick up that puck. Nedry all alone behind the net. Looking for an outlet. That just barely wiggles out. Oh, that's clean. It's clean. Newcomb's going for a change. You got Nedry and Witherspoon continuing to grind. Ballard's on the ice now. Helfrich all the way across, keeps it in. Rainbow shot over the goal. That one gets chipped out. That might be an icing. No, but it's going to be on net, and it's going to be way too slow. That gets back out to Helfrich. Helfrich works it up to Ballard. Ballard gets a stick on that. Good job. Helfrich chipping that thing forward. Cohen's there. Barely an icing. I don't know about that call. I just got a big smile from Angie Boylan. I don't think she appreciates that, but my mother-in-law does. Okay, Craigness on the draw. Craigness wins that one back. Oh, good job. 6 on it. Craigness is down low, helping him work out. Trying to get it out of the zone. 8 minutes remaining in the third period. 7-2. So far, it's a 0-0 game in this third period. Ballard along the near side. Chips it up to Craigness. Craigness tries to load it out. They intercept that. They work it back down low. Credit where credit is due. The Warriors are keeping it tight in this third period. Little fan on that. That's right. Chapman chips it out now. That's no fan. Up to Cohen. That's probably an offsides. That was tough because it was a little bang-bang play there. We're going to switch up the forwards. This group of forwards was offsides the last time. Amy and Levy at the back. Oh. Little action there. Westside Warriors trying to come up with something. Okay. So that's 7:18 remaining. Three goals for the Westside Warriors. 7-3 here in the third period. 7 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. Back to Sweetser. Sweetser tries to get it out. No dice. Back to Levy. 7 minutes remaining. Little opportunity for Witherspoon here. Witherspoon works it in. Tries to get it back. Newcomb's there along the near side boards. Ends up for Nedry. Nedry knocks it off the side of the goal there. Sweetser works it back down low. Westside Warriors work it out again. Sweetser works it back down low. Little tennis match along the far side. Back to Nedry. Nedry plucks that out. Tries to load up the zone or the slot. It's there. Good shot by Newcomb. Good save by that goalie. They're just going to try to get that thing out. That's not going to be an icing. Levy chases back. Couple of Westside Warriors coming at him. 6 minutes and 15 seconds left. Levy chips that up the sideboards. That one's loose. Levy. Over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon. Bangs around one. Senses some space. Bangs around another. Witherspoon chips that thing in. Doesn't quite get low. That long shot. Save. Craigness, Cohen, and Ballard out there. They're in the slot there. Westside Warriors trying to create some action for themselves. Craigness comes up with that. 3 Westside Warriors very deep. Cohen and Craigness with a 2-on-2. Craigness tries to load up the slot. That doesn't quite work. That one gets knocked back down low. Westside Warriors come up with that little bouncy puck. That gets worked over. Almost extra men, but not quite. That gets knocked forward to Cohen. Cohen dangling around a bunch of people. Mallory on the far side. Cragness is still out there. She's working it over to Mallory. Cragness goes for a change quick. Mallory behind the net. She's got Boylan there to help. That one scoots out. It's out to Amy. Amy chips it back down. Boylan tries to come up with that one. Springs it forward instead. That one gets out of the zone. Back comes Helfrich. Helfrich looking for an opportunity. Works it over to Sauter. Sauter activates this way. Works out of the zone. Here come the Westside Warriors back this direction. 4 minutes and 23 seconds left. That one bounces right off of her face mask. Here we go, the little battle along the blue line. That one comes out. Westside Warriors trying to escape. They work that all the way across the ice. Good, smart hockey. That one gets knocked out to the point. They get a shot off. There's another shot. Another shot. How many more shots can we get? Boylan works it over to Newcomb. Newcomb fires and scores. I've got a second microphone if you'd wish to.
Maddie wants it.
Participate.
Secondary.
3 minutes and 46 seconds left. 8-3. Edina leads. Witherspoon wins that draw to herself. Works into the zone. Dangs around one. Dangs around another. Tries to chip that in. I can't quite see because of the official. That one should be an icing if it makes it all the way down. Nope, they're going to have them play it. Levy loses an edge there. Fires it around the edge. Nice pass. Nedry up to Newcomb. Newcomb over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon fires. Goalie saves that thing. 3 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. Third period action. 8-3, your Hornets lead. Cragness, Cohen, and Ballard on the front side. Helfrich and Sweetser on the back. Out to Helfrich at the point. Helfrich works it in low. Ballard's there to fight for it. Ballard works it down to Cragness. Cragness behind the net. Cragness dangling. Works it out in front. Nice backhand saucy right into the slot. Unfortunately, they got to stick on it and cast it aside. Helfrich back in our zone. Back over to Sweetser. Sweetser up to Cohen. Cohen up to Cragness. Can't quite connect there. Cohen back to Helfrich. Helfrich works it off the boards. Westside gets that one forward, but Cragness comes up with that one. Cohen tries. That should be a goal. Little traffic in front. Chip play. That's a goal. It is appropriate running time. Jay's done a great job moving us to running time in this contest. Could have been a penalty there, not called. Bounces back now. Ballard tries to work it up. Bodies are flying all over the place. It's late on a Monday night. Chapman picks up a glove. Cragness comes up with that one. Cragness tries to chip to herself. Cragness over to Ballard. Ballard looks, fires. Goalie makes a nice save. 2 minutes left on the running time clock. Couldn't quite. She didn't actually play the puck, and so it should not be a high sticking call. That is a textbook bad call by our official. D6, if you're listening, please take a look. Bad call. Up the boards here. Sauter and Boylan entering the zone. Sauter over to Boylan. Boylan fires. That's a goal. That makes it 10-3. Nice play. Goalie tried to knock the old. I'm going to knock the net off, but I think it crossed the line before or after the puck went in. 43 seconds remaining. Chapman keeps the clock running for us. Mallory now tries to come at the mound. Sauter, Mallory, big battle out at the blue, out at the red, I should say. Sauter, all down. 25 seconds remaining. Levy works it up the sideboards. Mallory comes back with it. Levy tries to work that thing out of the zone. That gets tossed back down low. 10 seconds remain on this clock. We got the Zamboni driver here. Looks like he's ready to resurface this ice for some men's league hockey. And that's it. It's a 10-3 victory for the Edina Hornets here on a Monday night. That's it until this weekend when we'll be in the Duluth Icebreaker Tournament. For those of you that tune in regularly, this is the last time I think we're going to see the Johnsons for a while. So
See you in Duluth.
I do. Yes.